Hey, beer tubers! It's Ryan back with another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog, joined once again by my buddy Daniel, the Endo Symbiosis on YouTube, fellow Beer Geek Nation guy. And we got a request for a beer to review from one of our viewers, and that is going to be Hoegaarden White beer or wit beer. This is the beer that kind of saved wit beers. I mean, they're going out of style in Belgium, and Pierre Cialis somehow brought it back. And eventually, though, now this is actually an InBev product. Read Budweiser, massive corporation conglomerate. But anyway, we're going to take a look at this beer. So let's see how it tastes.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
So, Simon, the real ale guy, if you're watching this, this is a wheat beer. You do pour the yeast in. We're dumping this yeast in for this beer. So,
I don't know.
and it actually says so on the back of the bottle. There are instructions on how to pour this.
Right.
So,
they want you to use the Hoegaarden hexagonal glass, though, which neither of us have.
Yeah, but this was a cloudy beer without even swirling up the yeast on the bottom. I mean, it's just...
This is among the yeastiest beers I've ever seen. Like, among the cloudiest styles.
Definitely.
Tons of carbonation. And just crazy, crazy streams of bubbles from the bottom of the glass.
Yeah, I'm getting that lava lamp effect with the yeast going down.
Yeah, definitely that's going on.
Just like a muted straw color.
Yeah.
You know, light gold into straw. Just big, huge, frothy white head, bright white head.
Yeah, and you understand why they call it a wit beer, why they call it white, because, I mean, it really does have a white look to it. Very, very thick head. I mean, that's beautiful, honestly. That's a great looking beer.
It is. Definitely notice the coriander first. Maybe followed by the orange peel, which are two traditional, spices in these beers.
I kind of get the yeast first, like that funk first, and then I get the orange and coriander,
Yeah, I do you get some of that sort of citric kind of, slightly acidic kind of wheat notes, that kind of, there's almost like a bitter orange and then like a sweeter orange notes in it. So I don't know if they're using bitter orange peel, sweet orange peel. You can definitely use both. Maybe they are. But I do get some sweetness.
This is going to sound really weird. It's almost got a rubbery aroma. Like it's almost like a rubbery, like not in a bad way.
Yeah,
not in a bad way, but it's almost got that little bit of a, like a basketball or like a kickball kind of thing,
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely can. Yeah, rubbery into almost like Tupperware-ish.
Right.
Kind of.
Which isn't bad. I mean, it still smells good.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's really, really weird to get in a beer, but like that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. All right. Let's dig in.
Let's taste. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Yeah, this hits the spot on a hot day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can just pound.
Yeah, this is, I may have to reconsider my kind of preferential treatment to Weissbiers as opposed to wit beers, because I've always been more of a Weissbier guy, but this is really damn good.
Yeah, it's got such a upfront, very crisp, very light mouthfeel. It's only, I think, 4.9%. Yeah, 4.9% beer.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had better wit beers than this, but I mean, it still has those classic flavors in it.
It's got a very, I mean, even with those kind of citrus notes and those fruit notes, it's very clean. It's very kind of refreshing on the palate. It finishes not dry, but it finishes in a very kind of,
Yeah, I get a little bit of like a Pilsner grainy-ish kind of quality on the back end, but other than that, it's got, up front, I get a little more. You get the more citrus notes. I think that orange really comes through. I think up front.
Yeah, I'm getting more of the citrus on the aroma than the flavor, honestly. So, like if I sniff it first then taste it, then I get a lot more of that. But That's, I mean, it's not hugely complex, but it's really refreshing and it's really good. So yeah, we've been sipping on this a little while, and we've been talking, and I think we're both kind of in agreement on rating on this. I'm gonna give it a B. I think it's solid. It's really just drinkable. There's not a whole lot here. It's definitely not my favorite wit beer. But as a kind of standard beer of the style is like, okay, this is what a wit beer kind of is supposed to taste like. You can't fault it. It just is what it is. So I'm gonna give it a B. I think it's solid, but it's not an exceptional wit beer, but it's absolutely just like you can drink these no problem. So how you
Yeah,
feeling?
for me, it's a B. It's above average. I was kind of bordering on B minus, but I thought, you know what? There's really not a whole lot to fault it. I mean, it's smooth, it's drinkable, it has the classic characteristics of a wit beer in there. I think just the flavors, and I'm guessing I've heard that this is a bit of a former shell of the original recipe. And my guess is they probably dialed back the orange peel and the spice to make it a little more mellow on the palate for most beer drinkers out there. But that being said, it's still got enough flavor in there to be above average and highly drinkable.
And just a really well executed product. I think it's real solid.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite InBev beer. I mean, if you take all the different brands that they have, I mean, there's going through them. I mean, it's up there for me at least.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
I would agree with you there. Yeah,
I mean, I know the InBev now has some German breweries as well, but yeah, I mean, and I'm glad that Pierre Celis. I mean, you got to thank the guy
yeah.
for bringing the style back because when it's in the 80s out or hotter in the summertime, I mean, these beers are, in my opinion, better than any of those macro lagers out there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's no question there. That's don't even mention those in the same breath. But
So as far as Hoegaarden, is it my favorite wit beer? No. Probably still going to give that to Allagash White, plus some of the other authentic Belgian ones. But yeah, it's a solid beer, and thanks to our viewer for requesting it. I'm glad to get into Daniel's viewer request month because, like he said, like we probably wouldn't have reviewed this without being requested, just because it is an InBev product, but I think there are some better wit beers out there to take a look at. So it's gonna wrap it up for this review. Until next time, comment, subscribe, and see you in another collab import beer review. Cheers.
cheers.